Hi. A lot of my colleagues got into chiropractic through being patients or their family, parents, and everything else were chiropractors. And so when people ask me how did I get into chiropractic, I guess my story is a little bit different because I basically just fell into it. But wanted to do, just if you're interested over the next few minutes, to share how that happened, because it felt like a progression rather than something that happened. But the big reveal, if you like, is that I sold my house, quit my job, moved town without ever having seen a chiropractic adjustment, having never been to a chiropractic practice before, and just feeling like this was the thing that I needed to do. And so you've probably seen in the practice various certificates and things. So when I went to college, university the first time, I thought I was going to be a maths teacher. Thankfully that didn't work out. And during that time I got into physiology, study of the human body, and then thought I was going to do a physical education add-on degree, which I chose not to in the end, and then took a year off, bummed around, and then decided to get into the fitness industry and did a one-year course in Wellington on personal training. Directly at the end of that, institute asked me if I'd like to apply for one of the positions that had become free, which I then did for 3 years. So I was lecturing others who wanted to be personal trainers, so in the fitness field and everything else. And for 2 hours, 2 hours once a year, as part of a short course that we did, which was injury prevention and treatment, we had two chiropractors who came in and talked to us about what they did. Now, I don't really recall what they did, because I do remember that they never showed an adjustment. They talked about whatever it was. And so the first time I heard it, it was just part of my course. I didn't pay too much attention. The second and definitively the third time, I thought, hey, this could be what I need to do next. Because teaching was something that I always wanted to do, and I was in it, but at the same time I didn't see it as being sort of the bigger part of my future. And so they had then told me the New Zealand school was starting up about then, and so I got in contact with the principal, spoke with him for quite a while, and made, I think, what was the brave decision of not to start in the first year, and waited 1 year and got into the second year. So quite lucky in that regard, because it was pretty tough, as most courses tend to be. The first year is fairly dramatic, and so we had a pretty tough time in the late 90s until my graduation in 1999. So it wasn't really coming from even an awareness of what it was. So I remember when we first started, the first day at college, and they said, hey, what's chiropractic to you? And I can't remember what I said, but I didn't know anything about it, to be honest, other than what I'd had in personal conversation. So that's how I ended up in chiropractic. From there, I was in New Zealand for about a year and a half before I then moved to Sydney. I was there for 9 years, opened up my own practice there after about a year and a half, which I then sold to make the move to Germany. I spent the first 4 years in a practice in Grafofing, learned a lot, met some really great people, before, as you know, opening the Munich practice, Chiropractic Lounge München. And then, of course, in May of this year, 2020, opening the satellite practice in Lindau. So, yeah, that's my story, and for some of you it might have been interesting. That's it. Have a nice day.